bummer. We actually had a lot of people watching. Anyways, what can we do? All right, we're back on. Hold on.
Wait, keep going. You're about to go on a rant about Art Scroll.
What's that?
So you're about to go on a rant about Art Scroll.
I was about to go on a rant about Art Scroll. I'm sorry, guys, that somehow it got disconnected. Hopefully, whoever was on will get reconnected, and yeah, we can continue. We're going to give a few seconds just in case we can, if we can get some of the people that were here, that were in the middle of watching, that we got disconnected. What can we do? You know, that's called technical issues. But we have that, unfortunately. All right, let's get back to what we're saying. I was about to go on a rant of about to go on a rant about Art Scroll, okay? But before we go on a rant of Art Scroll, since we just started, and it might actually come out as a new video, I want to make sure that all you guys over there know that you need to hit the subscribe button right now before we get too involved in the concept. Because once we get too involved in the discussion, people forget to hit subscribe. So if you're on YouTube, you must hit subscribe right away, right now. And if you're on Facebook, you should share it with all your friends, all your groups, to smash it all over the place. And that's that. Yeah? Okay, good. Okay, anyways, I'm going to go back to the Art Scroll. The Art Scroll, it very often translates things in context of what's going on at that particular second, and not literal translation. And by the way, it's a good concept to discuss, okay, especially with Mr. Cookson. Yeah, that's what he says. Cookson, who says that he was sent here to learn something. I hope he stays here and actually learns something with us. Mr. Cookson, thanks for coming. Yeah. What's so funny? Huh? Oh, the Art Scroll. Translation. There are many places where we have translations, okay? Translations, by definition, are commentary. They're not real translations. A lot of people say, oh, well, this is the translation. No, it's not. Okay, because most languages are not completely compatible with each other. And since two languages, if they're not compatible with each other, and somebody translates something, they're actually giving you some form of they're adding something. They're giving you their perspective in the translation. It's very important. Don't take translations literal. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a few examples. Many people translate the Ten Commandments. They say, thou shalt not kill. That doesn't say that anywhere. There's no commandment, thou shalt not kill. Doesn't exist. Never happened. Doesn't exist. Not in the Bible. Doesn't say not to kill. It says, what it does say is it says, thou shalt not murder. Okay, that's the commandment. Thou shalt not murder. What's the difference between killing and murder? Huh? If you're murdering somebody who doesn't deserve to be killed. And if you're killing somebody, it could be he deserves to be killed, it could be not. It could be on purpose, it could be by accident. You can't murder somebody by accident. Okay? If you're in a car and you God forbid, you hit a pedestrian and you kill him, then that's not murder, they got killed. Okay? So killing and murder are very different than each other. Okay? And that's very important to know. Yeah? Good. Right? So, it's important to know whenever you see a translation that translation is not literal and it's not exact, but it's some type of, I don't know what do you call it? Huh? It's a commentary. It's not a literal translation. And that's why when I say people, if you want to learn the Talmud, okay, if you have the guts to actually go into this book and get your brains into the book that we're talking about right now, I'm telling you that you need to learn the original language, which is not easy, but that's what we're trying to do here. And that's why I keep on preaching to you guys and pushing you guys to read it in the original language. Because if not, you're going to get stuck like this Jew over here, that he's stuck. He's like, the Art Scroll translated it wrong. Okay, so why are you using the translation? So why are you reading the English? The Art Scroll also has the original. Don't read it. It's going to confuse you. Okay? You know, when I learned the Art Scroll in English for the first time, I said, listen, I'm having a hard enough time trying to learn Aramaic. I need to learn Chinese as well. So the words that they use, they try to be so fancy that no one knows what they're talking about. These are fancy words in English, like as if they're talking to some, Harvard graduate lawyer or something like that. Right? Huh?
They're not very smart anymore, these Harvard people.
Yeah, they're not smart anymore. They used to be smart. Right? And then they joined this leftist movement, and then that's it. They're done. They're stupid. You want to be smart today, you got to learn Talmud. That's it. That's your only choice. Talmud or bust. Okay, don't go to Harvard, don't go to Yale. Come to my class and learn Talmud with me, and I'll help you learn how to learn Talmud from the original text. Okay, remember, you can you send me a message. We'll send you the worksheets. We'll encourage you. We'll push you. We'll get you to learn the Talmud in its original text, because that's the only way to be smart today, is to learn Talmud. That's it, right? That's why the conspiracy theorists go on about the Talmud. They're afraid of getting taken over the world. Guess what? If everybody started learning Talmud, then the Talmud would take over the world. Okay, by definition, because people would start realizing how brilliant it was. And they would realize that all these other books and stupidity that they have out there is just messing with your brains. Okay, yeah, anyways. Yeah? You agree? Good. All right. We got lost over here. Oh, so we're trying to figure out, is Rabbi Yehuda going on the beginning and he's being easy on us, or is he going on the second part and he's being strict on us? Okay, and in order to what was the word I was going to use?
Understand.
What?
Understand.
In order to try to resolve this issue, we have another massive keyword. This keyword is called Tashma. Tashma. Okay, could you say that? Tashma. Okay, if you ever meet a Talmudist and you go to him and say, Tashma, do it in the exact tone. Say, Tashma. Then that's it. He's going to be like, oh, this guy must know Gemara. He's like a senior Talmudic scholar. He knows everything. Right? That's why he goes, Tashma. You have to do it with your thumb as well. It's very important. Like that. You have to start low, okay, and then come up like this. That's it. Right? That's the way to do it. Tashma. Yeah, it's very important. That's the way to do it. This guy's enjoying the class. Now that I put it online, I have to make a little extra jokes, and I used to be this boring old rabbi, and then I put myself online, and the one dude that's watching me somehow gets me to give the class so much better. I have 5 guys over here listening to me, but somehow that one dude that's online is somehow triggering me to do all the funny stuff.
No, what does it mean?
What does what mean?
I'm not doing the impersonation.
No impersonation for you. All right. Tashma. As I said, it's a very important keyword. We've learned it before, and I'm going to even ask Yitzchak if you can please share with us what is Tashma as a keyword, not as a little roll. We learned it before a few times. Let's see if you remember.
It literally means listen here.
Yes. Tashma literally means come and listen. Come and listen. Come and listen.
So it's going to try to give an answer.
It's going to what?
Try to give that answer, explanation.
There's a lot that we know from this keyword. This keyword, Tashma, tells us tons of information. Okay? Number one, it tells us that the Gemara is dealing with an issue. If the Gemara was not dealing with an issue, we would not say Tashma. Tashma means that there is an issue the Gemara is dealing with. Number two is it's trying to resolve said issue. Okay? And Tashma is the beginning of the attempted resolution. I say attempted resolution because sometimes we attempt to resolve it and then we turn out that we didn't resolve it. And number three is it's going to use a quote. A quote, not necessarily, here you're going to learn something new. Okay, Shmuel? You're going to learn something new. Okay, it's not always a quote from a Mishnah or a Brisa or a Tanaic quote. It could also be a Amoraic quote. Again, it depends on which context, but very often it can be an Amoraic quote. Especially in a case like what we're discussing right now, where there's no argument, we just need to know a piece of information. Sometimes we will bring from an Amoraic source. Yeah? Good.
But Tashma means it's coming to teach us something, right?
Tashma, what does it mean?
It's coming to teach us something.
No, it's coming to attempt to resolve the issue that the Gemara is having right now.
It's teaching us something.
Yeah. No, it's going to attempt to resolve the issue we have. That's it. Not trying to teach us anything. We had an issue, we're going to try to resolve it. Okay? Good. Tashma the Tanya says in a Brisa, Rabbi Yehuda says, L'chol ilpasin unoisin. In every single frying pan you can place something in it. right? L'chol hakaderis to all pots of roich is boiling. Who knows, and you can place in it. Chutz midavar sheish bechaymetz v'tzir, except something that has chaymetz and seer, which is like vinegary stuff or salty, juicy stuff. Okay? What's so funny? Is that funny? I didn't make a joke. You know, when I was young, they used to tell me that if I wanted to do stand-up comedy, all I had to do was stand up and everybody would laugh.
Beat them up.
Huh?
I hope you beat them up.
Why would I beat them up? It was like a tremendous thing, you know. I'd stand up and Do you imagine that if somebody actually did stand-up comedy, they did nothing other than just stood up there and made faces? I think that would actually be better. I think that's the stupid thing is that all these comedy people, they stalk her.
She's running for president.
She's running for president. But she actually talks, unfortunately, and,
Very fortunate we are that she does.
we're fortunate that she talks, and now she makes a fool of herself.
She makes so much sense and with a lovely laugh.
You love her?
I do.
Huh?
I do.
She's married
To a Jewish
to a Jew.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I'm not looking to get married.
Huh?
She's never said anything that actually makes any sense.
She never said something that made sense.
She's a brainless, lobotomized vessel of nothingness.
Oh man, why are we cursing at politicians over here? We're not supposed to be apolitical over here, you know? Sheesh, come on. No politics over here.
Are we talking about
Nobody knows.
Hillary Clinton?
No one knows. The people online know what you're talking about. See this Muslim guy, he says, I'm a Muslim. Why do you think the Jews are the truth? That's a good question. Why do you think the Jews are the truth?
You got one book and we have thousands of books. How about that,
We have more books than you. So that's the whole competition of truth. Who has more books?
Not necessarily.
No, that's not a good enough answer. I'm sorry. What?
Our revelation was given to everybody. Your revelation was given to one man.
Our revelation was given to many.
Your revelation was given to one man.
Yeah, okay. But why are we going against it? Why have to be against it? Right? Huh?
We all heard Nas Mishpah.
Huh?
We all said Nas Mishpah. We all heard God's.
No, the Torah was only given to Moshe.
What I would say, put it this way, what I would say is as follows, okay? Everyone agree, the Muslims and the Christians and the Jews, we all agree that Judaism was true at some point, okay? The Christians and the Muslims both agree that Judaism was true at some point. The Muslims agree that Judaism was true at some point, okay? At least they agree at some point it was true, okay? Now if you go the other way around, how does that work? The Muslims, the Christians and the Jews say they were never true. Christianity, the Jews at least say it wasn't true. The Muslims, depending on what part of it they say is true. Right? So I would say that, if you ask me, how do I know the Jew is true? I would ask, how do you know the Jew is true? Right? If you're a Muslim, how do you know that Judaism was ever true? Huh?
I'm not Muslim.
You're not Muslim? Anyways, by the way, just so those who are watching know, we are right now in Tzfat, which is under threat of extremists firing rockets at us, and it is possible that we're going to get cut off just because somebody shoots a rocket at us and we have to run into the shelter. It does happen, unfortunately, over here, and it has happened, not in the middle of my class, I don't think. I think his blood's smarter than that.
They know the time.
They're like, listen, Rabbi Kopel's class, we don't want to mess with that, right? Any other time we'll bomb you guys. And Rabbi Kopel's class, forget about it, not happening. So, okay. Anyways, should we get more political? By the way, anybody over, if you don't like what I'm saying, you can put it in the comments and yell at me, and I might yell at you back, depending on how good your yelling is. I mean, if you actually say something normal, say something stupid, I'm gonna just be like, okay, whatever. This guy's just, If you say something normal, I'll actually respond. Okay. By the way, I will receive if you put a comment now during the live session in Facebook or on what's this other one? Kick. What is it called? What's this other one that you have me on over here? This K one. Kick.
Twitch.
Quick and Twitch. If you either one of them. If you put a comment in your thing, it'll come up on my screen. I will see it. And if it's a good enough comment, I might actually respond to it. And by the way, you can ask a question. You can question any question you want. Yesterday, somebody asked me, why do I have a beard? That was actually a good question, right? Why do I have a beard?
And if you trim it.
Let's see if you remember. Why do I have a beard?
They asked about the trimming because you can't touch it.
Huh?
You can't touch
I am
it.
touching my beard. What's wrong with
No,
that?
you can't like cut it, touch it. I mean.
Oh, I've never cut my beard deliberately in my life. Sometimes I, going like this, I scratch my beard and then a piece of hair falls out. Especially when you're showering, you really clean it. That's it. It's like you take out your hand. For some reason, when you wash your hair, hardly any hair comes out. When you go through your beard, you wash your beard, forget about it.
Lucky you.
Forget about it. You come out and your hand is full of this cookie, bookie, I don't know what stuff. What? This pubic
What are your
hairs, man.
5 tricks to maintaining your beard?
5? I don't have 5. I only have 1.
Tips.
There's only one tip. If you want to have a good beard, you have to use conditioner.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Conditioner actually does very good for the beards. Today I put conditioner in my beard. That's why it looks so nice.
Shiny. Just shaking the beard.
Anyways, as I said, you could ask any question during the class and we will get to it. All right, let's continue. Where are we up to? Where are we up to? Okay. So we seem to, that Tashma seemed to have, it seemed to have resolved the issue that we were having, at least at that time. Okay? Okay, we resolved that issue. Rabbi Yehuda is being strict or is he being lenient? Huh? It seems like he's talking about everything, right? Yeah. So it seems like he's being more lenient. Now, if you remember yesterday, we had this concept yesterday that was talking about Sovar Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef wanted to have an opinion. Sovar, he held that he wanted to have an opinion, right? Yeah? Yeah or no? Good. Now, of course, who's the one that always throws him out and makes his life more difficult? Abaye, our favorite character. Remember, anybody out there wants to learn a new character in the Talmud? It's called Abaye. He's one of the most famous characters in the Talmud, and people love him. He's always challenging people. So, Rav Yosef Lemeimar. Rav Yosef wanted to hold melach hareu ketavlin, that salt is the same as spices, meaning the bekli rishon bishlo, that in a kli rishon it does cook, or bekli sheni loy bishlo, and in a kli sheni it does not cook. Okay, which means the question now is salt itself, not salty water, not salty foods, but is salt itself. Does salt itself cook the same as other elements, or does salt cook more, or perhaps maybe salt cooks less than other elements? And that is actually what the Gemara is going to discuss, and we're going to hear all of you guys, your scientific perspective. What is this? What is your scientific perspective? Okay? Amar le Abaye, Abaye tells Rav Yosef as follows. Toni Rabbi Chia. Rabbi Chia teaches, Melach eini ketavlin. Melach is not like other spices. The bekli sheni nami bishlo, that in a second vessel it also cooks. Okay? Upliga de Rav Nachman, and Rav Nachman argues. The Amar Rav Nachman, that Rav Nachman says, Sricha milcha bishula ke bisra de Torah. Yeah? Says Rav Nachman that salt needs more cooking than anything else. Right? In order to cook salt, you need more power, more energy to cook it than anything else. All right? Good? Maybe? Yes? So? Maybe so? Good. All right.
The Torah?
The Torah is an ox. Bishla de Torah is the meat of an ox. Now, the meat of an ox, we say, takes the longest to cook. It takes longer to cook ox meat, because it's very thick and very strong, more than anything else. Okay? So we say salt needs extra cooking energy. Sricha milcha bishla. Sricha milcha bishula kebisra de Torah, like the meat of an ox. All right? Good.
How does that make sense that salt is dissolved? You don't need to cook the salt.
Huh?
That doesn't make any sense.
What doesn't make any sense?
You don't need to cook the salt.
Why do we need to cook the salt?
You don't need to cook salt.
Who says you don't need to cook salt?
Like you can put salt in anything.
Why can you put salt in anything?
It doesn't need to be cooked. You
Huh?
If it's a liquid, like if it's soup, like we're talking about here, it just dissolves. You're done.
Yeah, but salt does many things. It can cure meats. Like you could salt cure a meat. You like it has.
So that's a good question. Does salt cook at all? Perhaps it does, perhaps it doesn't.
Ceviche. I mean, you're cooking.
Wait, is he saying that the salt is cooking or the salt is being cooked? I thought it says the salt is being cooked.
No, the salt is cooking because the salt.
Does the salt actually cook? Meaning not that it cooks something else, is itself.
Is it cooked?
Yeah.
Does the salt cook?
Yeah, does salt cook?
It does cook.
Does it?
Yeah.
How do you know?
It comes into contact with the liquid.
Because if it goes into a liquid, it dissolves into the liquid, then the liquid is cooking, and therefore the liquid that has the salt in it is being cooked.
But the liquid is being cooked. Is the salt being cooked?
The salt dissolves into the liquid, which becomes part of the liquid, which ends up being cooked because the liquid is being cooked.
Yeah, but is the salt cooked or is the liquid cooked?
The liquid is cooking because the salt is in it also, so the salt is also cooking.
But who says the salt is cooking? Maybe
If
just.
the salt dissolved into the liquid, and now it's part of the liquid, and the liquid is being cooked, then that means the salt is cooking.
Right, because if you cool down the liquid,
I don't get that,
do
man.
you
That's
then-
over
does
my
the
head.
Salt then go back to being just salt.
Huh?
If you were to cool down the liquid, would then the salt crystallize?
Again, crystallization is not necessarily cooking.
But could
Is
be
there an
reversed?
element? Does salt cook?
Must cook.
Does salt cook at all? Okay, now we have our favorite commenter here called Dirtball. Just give us a comment over here. Mr. Dirtball, thanks for your thanks for your comments. All right, good. Dirtball, you know Dirtball. He's a famous commenter over here.
Wait, don't you?
He always comments on my thing.
Talmudic scholar.
Super Talmudic scholar.
Community literacy scholar.
Yeah. Anyways, good. Let's continue. V'ika di'ami, there are those that say Sava Rav Yosef lemeimar. Some people say it differently. Now, Ika Amri is also a massive keyword, and the reason I put Ika Amri is a massive keyword. Where's your sheet? What did you use your sheet? How are you going to learn the Talmud without your sheet? Huh? What's so funny?
Community literacy scholar.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing. It's just fine.
Then why are you making fun of it?
Because.
You want me to call Dirtball on you?
Yeah.
I'll call Dirtball, tell him to go after you. Anyways, good. All right, where are we? Ika di Amri. Ika di Amri is a very important keyword. Now, some people are probably wondering why I have a roll of toilet paper here, and therefore I think it's important to explain why do I have a roll of toilet paper here? Because every once in a while, one of my students get nervous at me, and I just throw it at them. That's what I do. Should we have a test drive? I'm going to call Dirtball on you, man. You don't want to mess with Dirtball, man.
Definitely don't want to
Don't want to mess with
Dangerous
Dirtball.
guy.
Huh?
Dangerous guy.
Dangerous. All right, let's continue. Ika di Amri basically means that there is a. Ika di Amri basically means. Hey. Ika di Amri basically means there is another version of the same conversation. Okay, remember, the Talmud was recorded in many cases hundreds of years after the conversation took place, and therefore they needed to record it. When it came time to record it, there was a different version. Whenever you have Ika di Amri, there are those that says there's a completely new, different version of what's going on. All right? Good. Ika di Amri, there are those that say as follows. Sava Rav Yosef lemeimar, Rav Yosef holds to say, Melach hareu ketavu, that Melach is, Rabbi Yosef wanted to say that Melach, salt is like spices, the Bekli Yishin, Bishla, Bekli Shein Lei Bishla. That it has the same rules. Amar Abaye says, Tani Rabbi Chia taught, Melach eino ketavu, Melach is not like spices, Bekli Yishin, Nami Lei Bishla, that even a Kli Yishin doesn't cook. V'hainu damar Rav Nachman, and this is what Rav Nachman says, Tzicha milcha bishla kibisra de Torah. Basically, if you look at the two versions, they're pretty much completely opposite, coming to completely different conclusions. One's concluding that you are allowed to cook salt even in a Kli Rishon because salt never cooks, and one holds that salt, in fact, cooks. So there's actually this difference in opinion, and it's actually cool that the Gemara concludes this because whatever science figures out, they can't contradict it, right? Because there's one opinion that says salt cooks, one opinion says salt doesn't cook. So whichever opinion is right is one of the opinions of the Talmud.
So it just ends like that.
It ends like that, which means we have two possibilities, we have two opinions, and we're not sure which opinion is actually more accurate than the other.
Where's the sequel?
That's it. We have to rely on both opinions, etc. We don't. No, first of all, Rabbi Yehuda we concluded. Sorry, Rabbi Yehuda we concluded. The question is salt itself. Salt itself, Rabbi Yehuda didn't speak about salt. Rabbi Yehuda spoke about putting food in other salty food or other vinegary food, but he did not speak about salt itself. Okay, so that's done. We are completely
Why would the
done with
Gemara
that.
just leave it a bit open-ended?
Because it didn't have a better answer. Okay, unfortunately, the Gemara sometimes couldn't figure it out. And that's actually, as I spoke about this yesterday, one of the biggest problems with modern science today. I'm about to share with you the biggest secret, the biggest problem with modern science today is that they can never say we can't figure it out. If they can't figure it out, they just come up with the best combobulation, and then they say this must be true until somebody figures it out better than I did. Oh, look at this holy Jew over here coming with the talis and the tefillin over here. That's a dirt ball for me. There you go. All right. Anyways, that's the end of the Gemara, and then we will open the conversation to questions. If anybody wants to ask a question, if you're in my class, it's very easy. You just talk. Okay? If you're not in my class, if you're watching online, then you actually have to type in your question into a comment, and you have to comment to the question. And when you comment, I may answer the question if it's a legitimate question. You have approximately 20 seconds to ask a question on the comments. If you don't, then I will shut this down. All right? It was unfortunate. We actually had like a lot of people on it until it shut down the first time, and then it crashed, man, and then we lost all of our people, or a lot of our people. But yeah, we have to figure out how to do this. I think also we should probably get somebody, don't tell the secrets there, but we should probably get somebody to be on each of these, at least that there should be one viewer. Because I think that once there's one viewer, then they encourage more viewers. If there's no viewers, then forget about it. No, I've noticed that. When we have one viewer, it's easier to get more viewers. If we have no viewers, it just stays no viewers, though. Yeah. All right, any questions? Any questions that you want to ask the rabbi? By the way, anybody online, you could ask any question you want. By the way, if you're not in the live class, you can still ask a question in the comment, and I should get a hold of you, Bezrat Hashem. Anyways, good. We're about to end. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Any questions? Hurry up. Fine. Huh?
Yes.
That's it. Yeah, we did finish the quarter for the week. Good. Let's do it. That's it. I think